Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So I have here my video discussion regarding about lesson number 2 of the subject understanding culture, society, and politics. And the title of our lesson is all about cultural variations and social differences in socio-economic class. If you remember during my last discussion, I already introduced to you the definition regarding about socio-economic. And when we talk about socio-economic, always remember that it means or it refers to the category that groups of people that these people have similar economic, social, cultural, and political status. So that's the term or that's how we can define socio-economic class. And when we are talking about socio-economic class, there are terms that it is related or associated. First, we have economic status. So when you talk about economic status, it refers to the ranking of people based on their income classification. So when you talk about economic status, it's more on the income. No, it's more on the ranking of the income of the people. So based on his income classification. So when we talk about economic status, a family with lower income puts ones into the lower economic status. So if if your family in terms of the overall income, if the income, the total income of your family is very low, no, it does you don't have a source of you don't have occupation, you don't have business. So if when we talk about economic status, you will be categorized as you belong in the lower class in terms of economic status, while those who have higher income, these are people that will advance to the higher status. And always take note that different occupations and educational attainments have an attached value that influence an individual position in socio-economic class. So in the Filipino society, so if you have highest educational attainment, no, it might help you to find no a greener opportunity, a better opportunity in landing for a highly demanding job. And that is why in the Filipino society, when we talk about this particular occupation like doctors, lawyers, these are considered to be white collar occupation or white collar job, because when we talk about white collar job, it requires, these are occupation that requires mental capacity or intellectual capacity. So these kinds of occupation like doctors, lawyers, teachers, these are examples of so-called white collar occupation. And in the Philippine society, these white collar occupations are considered to be more prestigious than the blue collar job. When you are talking about the blue collar job, these are the occupation that requires strength. No, ito yung mga trabaho na nangailangan ng lakas, no? And in the Philippines, uh, this kind of job associated with construction workers and janitors. So these are example of blue collar jobs or blue collar occupation. And in the Philippine society, when you talk about this occupation, these occupation are sometimes socially stigmatized, no? So there is a discrimination, no? Mababa ang tingin ng lipunan sa mga taong may ganitong trabaho, no? People underestimate this kind of job, because in terms of in the Filipino society, they prefer to 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 have an occupation that is associated in white collar job. No, that is why when you talk about this kind of occupation like construction workers and janitors, they are sometimes received stigmatized, or they are discriminated in their jobs that they pursue. Another way of defining socioeconomic class, let's go back to ancient India. So when we talk, why is it that we need to go back in ancient India? Because in ancient India, there is rigid social class system that they implemented during the Indus Valley civilization. And when we talk about socioeconomic class, it's very important that we need to go back in ancient India so that we can know the caste system. So ang tawag sa socioeconomic class na nanggaling sa sinaunang India, or during the time of ancient India, is the caste system. So classifying members of society into socioeconomic class exists across cultures. So hindi lamang sa Filipino cultures meron tayong socioeconomic class, but sa iba't ibang society na nandito sa ating mundo, no? It exists across cultures. For example, when we talk about India, the caste system, the caste system of India determines an individual social class and status in their society. So, meron silang hierarchy in terms of their social class and their status sa kanilang lipunan na kanilang ginagalawan. In caste system in ancient India, citizens from higher class receive more job. So if ikaw ay napabilang sa mataas na posisyon sa kanilang social class, you will receive better opportunities and more job opportunities compare if you will be put into the lower class. So in ancient India, sa kanilang caste system, no? That is why in caste system in ancient India, citizens from higher class receive more opportunities in the government than those people that be put in the lower rank in their social class in the caste system. So ganun po yung sistema ng pagpapatakbo ng caste system. Okay. So, in the caste system of ancient India, what is the highest what is the highest class in the caste system? We have the Brahmins. No, Brahmins, sila yung mga pari, the priests. So these are the highest in the caste system, followed by Kshatriyas, the kings, the rulers, the warriors, yung mga mandirigma. Pero at first, no, at the beginning of the implementation of the caste system, mas nangingibabaw sa kapangyarihan ang mga Kshatriya than the Brahmins. But because of religion, no, dahil sa relihiyon, no, tumaas yung impluwensya ng mga pari. And that is why nagbago yung takbo ng hierarkiya ng kanilang social class system, at makalaunan, no, nandoon na sa pinakatuktok ang mga pari dahil sa kanilang sila yung nangungulo kung may mga aktibidades na may kaugnayan sa kanilang relihiyon. And that is why later on, the Brahmins became much more powerful than the warriors. So that is why nag-iba yung nasa tuktok ng caste system, yung mga Brahmins na instead ang mga Kshatriya. So Brahmins, these are the priests. Kshatriya, these are descendants from kings, rulers, or warriors. And then the third part of the social class of the caste system, we have the Vaishyas. These are the merchants, no, mga lakal, mga craftsmen, these are skilled workers, and the landowners. And then in the fourth hierarchy of the caste system, we have the Sudras. So when we talk about Sudras, these are farmers. These are laborers, no? And servants, mga alipin. So sila yung mga tao na napabilang sa caste system. Okay? So do not mind, ha? Do not mind. Just focus in my discussion. Okay. And then yung pinakaibaba ng caste system, we have the Dalits or untouchables. Okay, why is it that they are called untouchables? Because in the caste system, they are not recognized as part of the society. So hindi sila, yung kanilang existence ay hindi kinikilala sa lipunan. So that is why they are called untouchables. So it was said that kung ikaw ay makahawak ng mga kagamitan na ginagamit ng mga untouchables based on the Hindu belief, no, you will be considered as unclean. That is why these people that belongs in this category or this social class, they are considered to be outcasts. Okay? So, example ng mga Dalits or untouchables, yung mga street sweepers, yung mga human animal waste removers, yung mga dead body handlers, sila yung mga tinatawag na Dalits or untouchables or unclean. So, yan ang 5 social class ng caste system sa ancient India. Okay, do you understood? Okay.